This episode of Living in Las Vegas is brought to you by the Vegas Video Co-op. Because your online presence is often your only chance to begin a meaningful sales conversation, please take a moment and visit vegasvideocoop.com. Highlight your business, start a talk show, or unleash your genius for a low monthly fee. Use promo code LILV for a special discount to our viewers and listeners. That's vegasvideocoop.com.
I can see clearly.
So with LASIK, the way we do it today, you can have the gift of near and far vision and rejuvenate your eyes and have the vision you had pretty much like you did when you were 25 years old.
See Dr. Rothman. He's a good guy. Living in Las Vegas starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, that groovy little podcast that gives you a true first-person look into what it's like to call Sin City your home. The Living in Las Vegas podcast. Can't take that away from me. And now your host. Yes? A man who clearly needs some kind of introduction, otherwise you wouldn't know who he was. Speaking brother Scott. Mr. Scott Whitney. Oh, man. Welcome, everybody. Oh, hey, you stop that over there. No, I don't want you playing. That's enough, for the love of God. Welcome, everybody, to Living in Las Vegas podcast here on the Vegas Video Network. I am your host, Scott Whitney. Konnichiwa. And I'm normally joined by my Naughty Jelly Sweet, but she's away on business. But I have a man with me. That's right. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm okay with that. I have a man joining me today who... Well, I'll say this. He's brought sunshine to my life. He has solved a problem that I have faced for much of my adult life. I'd like to say hello to the great and powerful Ron Graves, everybody. There he is.
Woo! Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
You're welcome. So Ron gets up here before we start the show, and he's pulling that crap, right? So he's like...
Yeah, Scott, I'm thinking this is going to be a really groovy show, man. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you, and I think it's going to be just really awesome. So unbelievably...
I'm going to be the one with the higher voice, which never happens here, but Ron's going to be going low. So Ron...
Just occasionally.
Yeah.
Just occasionally.
Ron is the man. I will just say this.
Oh, thank you.
I met Ron. How long ago was it? It's been
at least 6 years.
6 years.
6, 7 years.
Yeah. So we moved here.
Shit.
It's
Jesus.
Tell me.
Christ.
We moved here in 2005,
right.
And so something like that. So 2005.
I moved here a year or two before you.
Yeah. And so this hair here, it looks simple. It is not simple.
Not at all, my friends.
No, it's hard. And so I went out.
Like weeds. You got to weed it out.
That's what you want to hear from your hairdresser. Your hair's like fucking weeds.
I love you, though.
That's
cool. Though.
So we moved here, and when we lived in California, I had an amazing hairdresser. She did a really good job. Well, actually, I should think about that. It was good, but it wasn't consistent, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I came to Vegas, didn't know anybody, start searching around for, a person to do my hair. And I went to these, what's that place that has...
Supercuts?
No, fuck you with Supercuts.
Supercuts.
I'm not going to Supercuts. Come on. The place that has all the...
Sam's.
No, come on, man. You know better than that.
All right, yeah, I know.
What's the place that has all the goo and all the products? It's like mostly products, and they put the
Paul
hair...
Mitchell?
It's like that, but there used to be a bunch of them
Umberto's?
here. No. Anyway, so I went to...
High-end, for real. I know it's...
Yeah, I went to one place and had a gal do it, and it was okay. And went back, and it got worse.
What they charge? I always want to know what they charge.
Oh, jeez, it was probably...
Don't fuck up now. Don't mess up and give me some new price for your ass.
It was $5. I don't remember. So I went to another gal, and this is I am not bullshitting you.
Right.
Went to this other gal and she's at a different one of these stores.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, now my hair is not easy. Give me somebody as good. Oh, no problem. Julie is really great. Julie's a cutie. She's all, real bubbly. Hi, I'm right in love with you. And so she gets into it, and panic, just fucking panic, goes over her hair, over her face, and she started to cry.
No shit.
Yeah, and I after that happened, I told everybody, hey, listen. I am not to be toyed with.
Yeah.
I make hairdressers cry.
Yeah. You had a very unique way of expressing to me that if the job wasn't good, that you would not be back.
Right.
The whole shebang you gave me. I'm like, I think I was pretty confident.
Well, it's pretty funny because I called the place that you're at and you're still at, which was called Port
Salon.
Port Salon, but I guess they're changing their name.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did. She literally started to cry. I'm like, hey. Get it together. You were halfway through this fucking cut. We need to close this deal. You know what I'm saying? Here's your tip. Maybe you should go into nursing, something that you can't hurt somebody in.
Yeah.
And so I go to Port Salon. I call them. I'm like, hey, I've tried a bunch of people, including a guy who ended up in Port Salon. And I'm like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who's a gunfighter, man. I need the best of the best. Who do you got? Oh, we got a guy, Ron.
You're gonna turn me red.
Great. Just, I'm telling you, I can't be screwing around with this. No, Ron's the guy. So I meet Ron. I'm like, hey, look, here's the deal. I make girls cry. He's like, I think I got it. Or actually, I think he was more like this, according to him.
Yeah, baby, I got your hair, baby. Don't you worry.
Don't worry about
this.
it, damn.
I got you, man.
That's
we'll
cool,
take good care of you.
And that was about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the real measurement. It's not about whether I like the cut. Well, it is a little bit. Yeah. But what's really important is, does the wife like the cut?
Absolutely.
And
you gotta go home.
Even the last cut I had, which was, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I come back, Melissa's like, wow, Ron is, he did it again. That's what you want. So Ron is the man. He's an entrepreneur. He's doing all kinds of cool stuff. A nice guy, fun to be with. So I'm really happy to have Ron join us on the big show today. What are we going to be talking about? Well, a couple things. First, we're going to go off the beaten path. We're going to talk about some Vegas-y things that you do after the Cirque du Soleil. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about drinking in public, which I am a fan of. But there's been a lot of news about drinking in public and the issues and ramifications. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, of course, we have listener email as well. Want to thank our sponsors, the Vegas Video Co-op. I like that guy, by the way. He's a hell of a man.
Thank you.
And also thanks to LASIK in Nevada. Dr. Rothman's a good man as well. All right, let's get into our first segment. I like to call it Have a Drink on Me. All right, welcome back to the Vegas Video Network's Living in Las Vegas podcast. This is Have a Drink on Me. This is the part of the Big Bad Show where you say, hey, I'd like Scott to buy me a drink. And I'm like, you know what? I get that. Yeah, I completely get that. And here's how you do it. You send an email to haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. Again, haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. What's the deal? What are the rules? Here's how you do it. We put up a picture of a particular bar and lounge or tavern that we have been at. You guess what that place was. We're reasonable. We're going to give you some hints. We'll give you some direction. And then we take all the correct answers. We put them in a hat, and we pick out a winner. Well, Scott, what do you win? Well, that's a good question, Ron. Thanks for asking. Actually, Ron would do like this.
What do you win?
Scott, what do you win?
Well, here's what you win, Ron.
I guess I'm going to get rode with that one all the way out of the gym tonight. That's cool, though. I got some shit for you.
Okay. And that's the end of the show, everybody. I want to
have a great week.
Have a good week. So what can you win, Scott? Well, that's good. It's called Have a Drink on Me because, believe it or not, I'll buy you a drink. That's right. I'll buy you a drink. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a giver. I can't help it. Or you might want instead this amazing Vegas Video Network. And let me go to this shot. Boom. There it is. Oh, that's so nice.
What a nice cap.
By the way, that's not iron-on. No, that's not iron-on. That's embroidered, baby, because that's what the big boys do. But wait a minute. There's more. We had a request to offer another gift. And I'm the man of the people, Ron.
What are we doing?
Well, that's a good question.
I tried to squeeze that out of you earlier, but you wouldn't give that
I
up.
know you did. I know you
Damn, I
did.
see you got some stuff.
I got some stuff. So we had a request from the
Honey,
our audience.
Honey, get this stuff, honey.
You can either get the visor or the drink on me, or you may select one of my CDs. Now, if you're a Christmas person, you might want this one, which is called Christmacoustic. There it is. It's an acoustic guitar, solo guitar right there. Oh, that's when I was young and good looking. Or you might want this one. It's a second Christmas CD. I cleverly called it Christmacoustic 2. More songs, same good-looking picture in the back. If you're an acoustic jazz Latin guy, you might want this one, Get Jazzathon. As a matter of fact, this song is off the Get Jazzathon CD.
Oh, yeah.
That's your buddy Scott.
Is that?
Yeah, that's me. This is a song called Gin and Tonic.
So does the Soul Brother get that collection to go? Is that part of the show pay?
As a matter of fact, if you become a guest on the Vegas Video Network, you get a package of CDs. So these are yours. There you go.
Outstanding.
You can have those.
Great job.
All right. So
Okay, next week I'll be back. What are we giving away?
I've only got 3 CDs, man. All right.
That's it.
So let's take a look at what we have for last week's Have a Drink on Me. This is last week's Have a Drink on Me. There it is. Oh, yeah. And we gave 3 hints, and those hints were it was downtown. It was at an MGM property. It was, what? What else did I say it was? Oh, I forgot. Oh, it has a Spirit Focus, and it was brand new.
It's remodeled,
and
right?
Something else.
Wasn't it supposedly remodeled from?
And it has blackjack. Attaboy. Thank you, everybody. God bless these people who help me. Sometimes I don't even know how I get out of bed. That's what I'm talking about. So the answer to that big, important question, let's get, what am I doing here? Oh, I see what I'm doing. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, come on. Get off there.
He's the master. He's got it, though.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
And you know, this guy's a genius. I don't know if
Jeez
you guys know
Louise,
the way I know him.
that worked out well.
This guy's a
Good
genius.
Lord. So the answer to the question, question that you ask is, that's the Whiskey Down bar.
Down.
Whiskey Down. You're saying to yourself, Whiskey Down? Well, that's pretty cool. How many people guessed it right? Thousands and thousands.
Wow.
No.
Are you serious?
Nope. I'm hardly ever serious on this show.
Those are all the names?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 correct guesses.
Oh, we got it. How do we distinguish between 11 great guests?
I'm going to show you. And by the way, some of them was pretty funny. One person, Phil was pretty clever. Phil didn't know, but I had labeled the actual picture, Have a Drink on Me, Whiskey Down. So he just looked at the picture.
It was on the picture.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be, good thing you don't have to be smart to run your own company. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our super duper hat here. We're going to take all the guys. We've got, like I said, Phil and our good buddy Steve and ADJ and Carol from the UK and Mike Q and Stuart from Russia and Penny from Plymouth, North Carolina, and Susie Spinder, who actually admitted to being drunk when she wrote in.
Wow.
Vegas in 50, Jans, Andrew, Dan DeBruno, John Henley, and the very last moment, Don Budlong. I'm going to put him in here.
Budlong.
Yeah. For all you marijuana smokers, that's probably handy. I'm going to mix them up.
No,
as
that
you
would
can
be
see.
Long Bud,
Long
my
Bud.
friend. That would be Long
Sorry
Bud.
about that.
Yeah.
And, whoop, uh-oh.
Uh-oh, you're losing names.
Wow.
There's one on the desk right here.
Did it drop out?
Yep,
Oh, that
there it
was
is.
Stuart. Sorry, Stuart. All right, mix it up, not looking. Now, Ron is going to be the one who picks out and reads the winner. All right? So let's go to Ron's shot. All right, Ron.
I have to use my phone to read it, though.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
All right.
What do you got?
It looks like we've got... Damn, your writing is bad.
Yeah, I used to be a doctor.
Jesus Christ,
Really?
is that Dan?
Let me see. That's Dan Budlong.
Budlong.
Oh,
Budlong?
Oh, for God's sake. Okay.
Wow, you know, that's funny that I picked Budlong. We should live on a street called Budlong.
Did you really?
I didn't make that up. 25th and Budlong.
Okay, there it is.
There it is.
To prove that we're not lying to you.
We're going to show it to you, Dan.
There it is, Dan. Dan's the big winner. Dan gets to pick either a drink on me. I'll put that off to the side. Whoops, hold on. Oh, shit.
I won't forget.
A drink on me, a visor, or one of my music CDs. Okay, let's do some quick hits. Wanna? I don't even smoke.
Oh,
That was
God.
funny. I used to smoke the marijuana, and
Did you?
I had a really bad experience with it.
What happened?
Really bad.
What do you mean bad?
It was really bad.
You didn't run off the road or anything, did you? All right.
But
Hey, seriously, I got to ask you one
It was
question.
laced
Have you-
with angel dust.
Oh, yeah, well, that wasn't marijuana then. You had some...
Well, it was marijuana,
No, it was...
but there was
it
angel dust in that
angel
shit.
dust.
That was not a good day.
I'm talking about straight
Oh, shit, we got to
cannabis.
do the next one. Oh,
let's
that
go.
was stupid.
All right, yeah.
What the hell was I thinking? Sorry about that. All right. Good Lord.
Get away.
I started talking about pot, and I forgot there's two halves
Well,
of the
Budlong
freaking
won.
show.
Budlong won, you know?
Yeah, so Budlong won. Now, let's look at today's Have a Drink on Me. Today's Have a Drink on Me. There it is. There's your photo. And I cleverly wrote down my hints somewhere else. Well, I'm just going to wing it. Okay. Hint number 1. This bar is downtown. That's a good hint. Hint number 2.
It's like 7,000
Yeah,
bars.
right. There is now, right?
Jesus.
Hit number 2, besides it being downtown, it has a secret bar within that bar.
Inside the bar?
Yeah. How about that?
Well, before you put the picture up, let's make sure the name's not on
The
it.
name's up. And the picture's already up there.
There's no name across the front, right?
Right, yeah, no. Actually, what's funny that you say that, because on the, you can't see it, on the monitors, the cashiers, the name of the company
Oh,
was
my
on there,
God.
and I blurred them out.
Oh, good for
All
you.
right, so it's downtown. It's one of the newer properties downtown. It has a secret bar inside a bar,
Wait a minute, you
invitation
said new.
only. Yeah, it's pretty new. Don't guess it if you know it.
I don't know. I'm saying,
Okay.
but what do you consider new downtown?
It's, well, I mean, it's-
refurbished new or
No, I mean, like it's
new?
no, it's
like
brand new.
New casino, new
No,
bar?
I didn't. I'm not saying if it's in a
Nothing.
casino
All right. I'm trying
or
to
a
help you
standalone
guys.
bar.
I'm trying to give you some extra stuff
I
here.
feel like you're providing a little too much
All right,
guidance. You're fine. Okay, and then finally, besides being those things, it has 2 stories. It's a 2-story bar. All right, 2-story bar. Secret hidden bar, invitation only, hard to get in, only holds 25 to 50 people or so in the secret bar. And it's downtown. Okay, if you know where this is, and I think you do, you're going to go to Have a Drink on Me. That's where you're going, okay? Have a Drink on Me. That's it. Okay, now we can go on to a quick hit. All right. I'm not sure what that was about, but okay. There's Ronnie. There it is. Oh, nice. Great. Well, I've never done a drug-based show, and now I'm doing drug-based
no,
shows.
we're not. We're
Okay.
just having fun.
Let's talk a little bit about
That's
drinking.
not what we do, sir.
Let's
Seriously.
talk about drinking. Here's something that's fascinating. So, if you live in Las Vegas, and you probably would only know that if you lived in Las Vegas, there's been a lot of reporting on what's been happening in Fremont East. Fremont East, for those of you who don't know, is really growing. It's pretty exciting to watch. It used to be a pretty rough and tumble area, and then the Zappos guys got in there, and they're putting $350 million in there, and they're doing all kinds of stuff, and it's pretty groovy and all that kind of crap. And it's drawn a lot of people, and a lot of bars have been built down there. A lot of restaurants have been built down there. It's pretty cool, and it's drawing a lot of people, and especially on First Friday. And so there was a report recently that said, a recent First Friday, there was, police on horses and they're arresting all kinds of people. It was pretty rough. And one of the things that came up is these tourists and locals were being cited or getting citations for drinking in public. Now, ladies and gentlemen, part of the joy of Las Vegas is walking around with a beer in your hand.
Yep.
It's been happening for years and years and years. It's everybody does it. Everybody knows it's cool. And then all of a sudden, These people are, maybe walking from the Fremont Street Experience, the Canopy part, and they're heading down to Fremont East. They got a beer that they got from a casino or whatever, and they get popped. And these are $200 citations. And so the people who are in the Fremont East are starting to get a little spooked by this, by the crowds and the underage drinking. And there's been a little bit of violence down there, too. Which is a real problem. Vegas Police Captain Sean Anderson said that downtown can still be a dangerous place for kids. This is in regards to a curfew they're thinking of putting on down there. Saying the rate of assault and battery with a deadly weapon is up 22% this year. That's a real problem.
That just that area?
Yeah, it's downtown. Now, I don't know how big of a downtown they're calling that, but 22% increase in assault with a deadly weapon is not a feature. They got a real problem going on in their hands there. And so they're addressing it. They think the way to address it is the drinking issue, and it's the underage drinking. And so the curfew is for the underage drinking. That's really not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about just, are you allowed to drink and walk around, which is what everybody's been doing. So what's been going on down there?
For years, my friend.
Years.
Yeah.
For decades.
Yeah.
So this article, the first quote of this article was from a guy, Zach Ware from the Downtown Project. If you walk out of the Fremont Street Experience with a daiquiri and you walk into Fremont Street and get a ticket, yep, it's personally your responsibility. I would encourage the Fremont Street Experience to let their visitors know you can't leave this area. So Zach apparently knows the law, which is pretty great. And then further down in the article, for starters, citations for open container violations are upsetting and confusing locals and visitors, which have grown accustomed to strolling from bars to casinos with an adult beverage in their hand. Visitors are given an unpleasant surprise down in that Fremont East when they get these citations. These citations, by the way, are going for about $200 a pop.
Wow.
Right? So now you've got tourists saying, one quote, yeah, this is a place basically built on tourism, and now you're kind of popping these tickets. I didn't know I was breaking the law. You guys said we could do this. What the hell is going on? All right. So I wanted to find this out because it felt like something was not right there. They did some other things that were right. They shut down 2 bars there, for example. The police did for 24 hours, Beauty Bar in another place.
Serving youth?
No, it was because the music was too loud. And they shut them down for 24 hours, which means they were off for a Saturday, which is a huge impact on their business.
Absolutely.
But the law is 8 hours, not 24, 8. So they got jerked around, basically. So it's a problem. So I thought, I wonder if there's more to it than that. And there is more to it than that. But here's what I love about Ron. Ron did a little research. So I called Ron, Ron called me and said, hey, how about I have to come to the show and just check out? And I'm like, hell, come to the show. Fuck, I'll put you on it.
Absolutely. That's just how it happened, too.
So I told him what we were going to talk about. He goes, okay, that sounds great. Hung up. And apparently you did some research. What'd you do?
Yeah, such a strong question because, when I first came to Las Vegas, and I have friends that come to Las Vegas, that's what you do. You come to drink, you come to walk around, casino to casino, with a beer, with whatever. It's what you do.
Right.
But doing my research.
Yeah. Look at this. He did some notes.
This shit's illegal.
Well, let's see. So what do you got?
So they say. Here's what I got.
Yeah, what do you got?
Here's what I got. If you're on the strip, if you go from casino to casino and you're walking down the strip with alcohol, unless you're a nuisance, they will not bother you.
Right. And by the way, it's important to recognize, and most people here recognize it, that the Las Vegas Strip is not in the city of Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
It's in Clark County, so it's not a part of the city. Okay, what else did you get?
Also, great statement. Parts of the county, it is legal to drink and walk.
Did they tell you where?
No, I don't want to tell them where. Shit, if we tell them where, then we get all these drunks going over there drinking and walking. And then they're calling and looking at, Vegas Video Network, you rat bastards. So we don't want to do that.
Okay.
We stay away from telling them where. But just know that there are parts, Clark County.
Right, send us an email, Ron will tell you.
I'll give it to you personally.
Right.
You want to get drunk on the street here.
Right. I'll give you a haircut and a tip.
Have at it. Anyway.
What else you got?
What I found out was that it's really different. It varies, even from North Las Vegas.
Oh, sure. Well, they're different cities, but you actually talk to police officers.
I talk to police officers.
Like people in their cruisers.
Absolutely.
Today.
Like,
hey.
Absolutely. Hey, come here.
Officer Bob.
I got to ask you something.
Got a question.
That's what I need to know.
All right.
It is illegal anywhere outside of certain parts of the county to drink and walk anywhere outside of that facility.
Okay.
What they say is that we do not enforce it because of tourism and because of the business that it and the lost opportunities that we will have for citing them. Yeah. So what I figure is, if you're a dick, you're an asshole, you're causing problems, then you're subject to get cited for drinking in public.
Yeah.
However,
anything else did you learn?
What I did learn is that it's a bunch of hogwash. They can really pick and choose who they want to give this to.
Yeah. Okay.
And that doesn't make it pretty fair, you know. That doesn't. Well, what's fair anyway, right?
Right. So here's what I read, and here's what I found out, and that is those people are lying to you to some extent. There is something to do with location.
Law enforcement is lying to me.
A little bit, which is shocking. A little bit. And here's the clarification. And this is from the city attorney. So this is the guy who's the head attorney. He's the attorney of this. It's his fucking job to decide what works and what doesn't work. Because in this article, it talks about a lot of these citations are being thrown out. Huh?
Well, of course.
Here's why.
That was going to be one of my questions.
City Attorney Brad Jerbick said it's likely at least some of the citation issued for open container violations will get tossed out of court. That's because the city code is fairly liberal when it comes to drinking booze in public. Here's what he says, a direct quote. There is nothing illegal about taking a drink out of a casino once you've purchased it. He also says that from a legal standpoint, there is no difference between the area under the Fremont Street Experience canopy and Fremont East, at least when it comes to open containers. This is important. So in other words, if you go to a casino and you buy your football beer, your football daiquiri, and you walk to Fremont East, you cross 4th Street, and then you're out there, according to the city attorney, it's completely legal. Nothing to be done about it. There is an issue there, though, and here's what it is. And this makes sense, by the way.
So is this this is the part you're going to give me now that shows me where it's illegal?
Well, yeah. So in other words, they're saying that you can't do it. That's complete bullshit. There's a type of business license that allows you to do that. And there's a type that doesn't. But let me just wrap this part up. So it's only legal to drink alcohol on the sidewalk if the container came from a packaged liquor store or seller, like our liquor store.
Right.
Which basically means people can't bring their own brews from home or a liquor store to consume on the street. By the way, that's one of the problems that was happening in downtown.
They said that. That was part of my...
Yes.
Yeah. And you can't do... For example, if I go to a liquor store...
Can't do it.
And purchase liquor.
Can't do it.
I can't even drink it on their lot.
Mm-mm. No, you absolutely cannot.
It can only be consumed, I guess, at your home.
Yeah. But that's not what most people do. And so part of the problem that happened downtown is these underage kids were bringing a case of beer, putting it in the trunk, opening the trunk, especially on First Friday, and then drinking and just kind of mingling with the big crowd that was associated with First Friday. And that's a problem. Arrest those little punks.
So what's the solution?
Okay, first the solution, I believe, is you should know your rights. And according to the city attorney, if you buy a football beer at the Fremont Street Experience, you can walk down to Insert Coin, you can walk down to Don't Tell Mama or the Griffin or Downtown Bar or wherever, and you are completely in your right to do that.
Thank God.
So if a cop comes up to you and says, we're going to arrest me, you're going to say, have you talked to Brad? Because your city attorney tells me you're wrong.
I had one of those footballs.
Yeah. Hell, everybody's had a football.
I sat on the 215.
So then, what else? There are tavern alcohol laws. This is also important. So also a separate ordinance governs which businesses can legally allow customers to walk off a premise with an open container. So here's the other part. All right. So the casinos under Fremont Street, you can get a beer and take off, no problem. So if the business has a tavern license, it is free to allow customers to drink at the bar or take the beverage out of the door. A tavern license. Now, there are a variety of different alcohol licenses that a business can get. A tavern license is one of them. But excuse me, if a business operates under a tavern limited license, like most Fremont East bars, the booze must be consumed on premise. Right?
Give me an example of what would be one of those bars.
I don't have a list of the ones that are tavern limited license, but you can ask any bar and they'll know.
Okay, they would know.
And you can go online. There's a website that shows
you
this
guys
stuff.
hear that? Get that down. That's important.
This is super important.
Super important. Yeah,
so,
you gotta have that.
But basically, it kind of makes sense.
It's good info, brother.
Yeah. So let's see. So a list of 53 licensed alcohol establishments in the downtown area provided by the city shows 21 locations with tavern license. This is downtown, which under the city code, a customer can leave with an adult beverage in hand. So 21 places in downtown. Now, hold on. Let me see if I read that right.
You got
downtown.
Right
so that might include Fremont Street Experience. I don't know. But 21 allows you to do that. Most of the taverns licensed are for casinos clustered in Fremont between Main and Las Vegas Boulevard. Okay, so that would be primarily Fremont Street Experience. But there are also tavern licenses on 3rd Street and farthest east on Fremont. In short, the only way it is clearly illegal for someone to drink on the streets is if it comes from a container that was sealed or corked at the point of purchase or poured into a cup by the consumer. This is huge, in my opinion. So I'm all about safety and taking care of the people and making sure it's safe. And a 22% increase in violence is bad. They got bigger fish to fry.
That's a bad move, my friend.
They got bigger fish to fry than get a guy from Poughkeepsie who drank a fucking football that he got from Fremont Experience.
Stay off the football, brothers. Just had too many beers.
Stay off the football.
Stay off the football.
But no, you should know your rights.
Yeah.
It does piss me off if you get arrested or you're not actually being arrested, you're getting a citation. But it's $200 for doing that. So if you get a drink from Fremont Street Experience and you walk down to Fremont East, you're completely in your rights to do that. If you are going to go to, I don't know, Insert Coin, that bar, I don't know what license they have.
Right.
And it's, most bars tend to have limited tavern licenses. So you can't leave that premise. You're not allowed to do that. But, sit down, play Xbox for a drink and get the hell out.
That's not,
relax.
but that wouldn't be one of those places that are probably just exclusively set up with the outside bar. There's so many of those under the Fremont Street Experience. You know what I'm saying?
The Fremont Street Experience, I think, is pretty much you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It's outside of that. So,
which makes sense though, Scott. You don't want people walking up and down the street drinking. It's
my point is, I don't care if it's legal. Do it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a matter of violating of your rights.
Right.
If you're allowed to do it, you should be allowed to do it, and you shouldn't have a cop decide willy nilly. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to arrest you.
That's kind of the
condition.
info I got.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not okay.
That's,
like I said, underage drinking, it's not cool. Get them out of there. Do you need a curfew? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of civil liberty things going on with that. What happens if a kid has to
curfew? Though, if the kid's underage, what just need to be out? At a certain time.
I don't have a problem with it. That's fine. I mean, again, what if the kid has got a job at a pizza place? He has to get home at 10 o'clock. Well, then he's got to have a note from his boss, basically.
Got an explanation.
Yeah, well, but he's got to have a note from his boss and blah 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 blah. So that's not a problem. But they've got two things going downtown. They got to figure it out. They got to stop citating people who shouldn't be cited. That's bullshit, and they got to stop doing it because it will piss off tourists. It will piss off locals.
So obviously, this is becoming a problem down there.
It's a huge problem down there.
Pissing people off.
I mean, there were these articles and blog posts about cops on horses, moving people
in
around.
Fremont Street area
and Fremont East. Yeah. It's not good. It's just not good.
Okay, I live in Vegas, but shit, is like,
do you go to downtown much?
I do, but just certain areas.
Where do you go downtown?
I'm really at just the Fremont Street Experience.
Right?
Yeah. But other than Fremont East, is there like transients and shit walking around?
Well, you know it. Well, Fremont. Listen, look at downtown still has to deal with a homeless issue. Right, because all the homeless shelters, not all of them, but many of the homeless shelters are a block away or 3 blocks away from Fremont Street, whatever it is, under the 95.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think I talked about this on a previous show. I was at Gold Spike, which is a refurbished casino that's now just a big lounge. There's a really cool band playing there called the All Togethers. They call themselves hillbilly jazz. I love that.
Oh, well, okay.
So I was hanging out. I was the oldest guy on the block, and I was watching these guys, and I really like them, and it was fun. I had a couple drinks, and I left, and it was about midnight or so, maybe 1, I don't know. I was walking down 3rd Street towards Fremont Street Experience. That's just west of the new zip line that they're building, the Slotzilla.
Right.
There were 6 people sleeping on the ground at that time under the canopy.
Wow.
That's not a feature. That's a problem.
No, that's yeah, that's not good.
So they have, they're trying to bring in this young crowd for the
1
Zappo
a.m.,
thing.
just 1 a.m., not 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Even any a.m. is bad to have.
Well, I mean, listen, there's no question that downtown. See, I like downtown.
I do too.
I like Fremont Street. I think it's a fascinating place to be. I think it's some of the most interesting people watching there is.
Absolutely.
But it's not always safe. And it's not.
Well, you think we should be using that word, safe?
Well, I do. I think Melissa has said before that she didn't feel safe down there.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Safe. I mean,
Absolutely.
to where
not now. Not like she had to get the hell out.
Or
But just the
environment is not
people, or
conducive
it can be a little shady.
squirmy. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of meth guys running around down there. And it's true, and so everybody who's working down there knows this. This is not a secret. I'm not opening the kimono and saying, "Well, surprise! There's fucking drug addicts down in Fremont Street."
Right.
That's not new news to anybody.
Yeah. They're everywhere, right?
Yeah, and so it's a problem.
Yeah.
And they're trying to lift themselves up, but they're having a really hard time doing it. And wait a minute, we're bringing in 1,800 20-year-olds who are going to be working for Zappos, and all that does is create more people down there.
Yeah.
And it is a very us and them kind of thing going on right now. The whole young hip sting and the people, hey, but we were here.
Is.
Hey, I was the grocery store that was here for 20 years, and you're kicking me out for a fucking Starbucks or whatever.
Right.
That kind of shit's going on down there now. So there's a lot of tension.
They're tug of war.
And you're not going to hear a bad word from anybody in the political world or anybody in business saying, no one's going to say a bad thing about the Zappos thing. Nobody.
Right. They're making money.
Well, they're making money, and clearly what's going on down there has been good. But it ain't all good. And
21% increase in
22.
crime. 22.
Yeah, it's not good. It's bad. It's a big problem.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So know your rights. Get your beer from the Fremont Street Experience. Go ahead and walk on down there because there's some cool places there. Go to Don't Tell Mama. It's the coolest piano bar in Vegas.
It is cool.
I think. You like video games? Go to Insert Coin. I mean, I know the cat who runs it. It's a nice guy. It's a pretty cool bar. They, Park Avenue or Park and something, the new bar on the corner of Fremont and 4th. It's a great place. Cool backyard patio. Fuck, there's all kinds of neat places.
Just
down
run in, run out.
No, I think you could be okay in there. Just don't. But those are probably
loiter.
places that you probably can't buy a beer and you probably can't walk out. They probably won't let you do that anyways, because
Do not loiter.
if I am an owner of a bar and I have a limited tavern license, I know that you have to drink this drink on premise. I'm not going to let you leave. Whereas for under Fremont Street Experience, that part of the reason they put the canopy there is so you can walk around up and down with your beer and your giant
That's what I
margarita.
thought. Yeah.
So you just know that you're allowed to do that.
Listen,
right?
I was one of those people that always thought that it was cool to walk and drink in Vegas, even as long as I've been living here, until I actually had an incident.
Did you?
That happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
I was leaving the cannery, and I had just walked out of the door.
The one on Craig or East?
Craig.
Yeah.
And I had a beer, I had a Corona, and an officer was walking in.
Yeah.
I'm like, and he said, "Hey, listen, you can't walk with that."
Yeah.
I said, "I thought it was legal to be." I figured there's no time limit. You can drink all night, but you cannot walk. He said, "You got to finish that before you take it out." He said, "That's illegal."
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that was my first time in my whole life, and I've been back and forth to Vegas all my life.
Yeah.
So that's some really, really, really good information, my friend.
And that doesn't surprise me. I should probably be clear. I mean, I wouldn't be walking down on Summerlin with an open container. It's not where it's at. It's on the Strip. It's downtown. That's the place where it's okay to do this. Yeah, I mean, if I'm at Boca Park and I go to I don't know, Gordon Biersch, and I grab a beer and decide to walk it down to McDonald's, I think I'm going to be in some shit, and I should be. I don't have a problem with that. But you can't change the
Of
rules.
course, you know it's being done. Though. You know these guys are riding around drinking their ass off all day long.
Well, that's a different story. The drinking and driving story is a completely different story. I'm not saying that. That's not a good thing. You shouldn't do that. But I'm talking about just if I walk, and if I've always been able to walk, and the city attorney says it's okay, don't give me a goddamn citation.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to fight it. A,
Absolutely.
and it's going to piss me off that I have to fight it. B, and you're wasting your time.
Yeah, it's going to take your time. That's all. It takes your time. But
Yeah,
you'll probably beat it. But who cares?
But
Who wants to deal with it?
It's the wrong. It's the wrong use
message.
of resources.
Well, it's got to hurt tourism. It's got to hurt anybody in that area that thinks that that's an issue. I mean, you live there
For sure.
You walk across the way. You got a beer. You get a ticket. You've been thinking all your life it's okay. All of a sudden, it's not okay.
Yeah, it's an issue.
And it really
they're
is
gonna have to
okay.
fix it.
So what the hell you do?
I think eventually they're going to have to kind of go. All right, sorry.
We don't.
That's one of those.
Tomahawk say no.
Yeah, don't give me a freaking citation. I mean you no harm. I'm here for good. All right, let's get into what was supposed to be our main topic. Let's see what this was. We're already 41 minutes in.
Oh God.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. That's
This is how we do it.
funny. I didn't catch that. Go ahead and do that again. That was beautiful.
I said, "This is how we do it."
All right, let's take you off the beaten path a little bit, folks. So, I used to be a tourist here in the Las Vegas. It was one of my favorite places to come. Took my beautiful wife. She was my girlfriend at the time. New Year's here.
Wow.
Loved it. Had a great time. And have been here a time. I even made a baby here once, a long time ago. So I have a certain affinity for the Vegas.
Vegas.
But here's the thing: if you're coming to Vegas, if you live here or you're a visitor, go see a Cirque show. They're fucking awesome. Now, here's the funny thing about Cirque du Soleil. I have had experiences with, I've met a lot of entertainers here in Las Vegas.
Right.
And these guys, as a practice, consistently rail against Cirque du Soleil. Very much like they consistently rail against DJs, the big, EDM kind of DJs. And the reason they rail against them is because they think they're taking their jobs away from them. If there wasn't Cirque du Soleil, if there wasn't these DJs, well, then it would be the Rat Pack-like era again, and all these lounge singers would be making a living. That, by the way, is complete and utter bullshit. As in other words,
Tomahawk say no.
that is not true. There is no, and here's the reason for that. This is about money. Oh, wait a minute. Back in the mob time, they didn't have bean counters. They just knew it was hip. Bullshit. Back in the mob day, they had bean counters with fucking guns.
That's right.
That's what they were. They wouldn't be having Sammy and Dean and Frank doing that stuff if they didn't know that you guys, after you went to that 2 o'clock concert, you were going to stay there till 6 and
right.
eat and drink and gamble and smoke your ass off.
That's absolutely right.
It's money. Those guys kill people for money. Yeah. Of course they care. Only thing changed is the guys have glasses, they have MBAs, and they don't shoot people anymore.
And they're called corporations.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. So the truth of the matter is, you can go to I've been to Cirque shows where I've just gone,
wow.
What the fuck was that? I saw the Love Show, and I'm not a big Beatles fan. I saw that show and went, holy Christ. It actually felt like I am a worthless human being. I've got to work harder after watching that because these guys are fucking awesome. Caw was like that. I'm like, how the hell am I going to review this show? It's like magic. Yeah. What the hell am I going to do with this?
It's great.
So, you come to Vegas, you got to go see Cirque. Gambling is fun. Now, I don't gamble much. Not because I'm against it. It's just I know as a practice you lose. But
if you do too much, you're gonna
lose.
Yeah,
if you're gonna play, if you're gonna play cards, if you're gonna play on the slot machine, you're gonna lose. That's how they build the big, pretty, shiny buildings. However, I will tell you, it's fun. I did a little gambling on behalf, some playing for Stuart, and he wanted me to play to keep his card active. I had a ball. Yeah. I'm like, woohoo, bonus. yes.
That's right.
Yeah. It was
right.
great.
We had a good time.
And when we came here, when Melissa and I came here, we thought of it as, as entertainment.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting to get paid. And a couple times we were up. Most times we were down.
Yeah.
And it was completely cool. This is back when
Vegas. Yeah, that's Vegas. That's what you do. When you're here, you call it indiscretionary cash that you don't give a damn about.
That's right.
And those are the ones that the locals are looking for.
That's right. And so, and that was back when we had the buckets of quarters. We'd have my buckets of quarters,
Making
and I'd be
a gang of
popping them
noise.
in. I'd get my drinks. I'd be like, "This is a living, baby. How about that?" And the other thing that food here is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Some of the best restaurants. You don't get a belly like this from just drinking Corona Light. No, you have
That's
to
good
go out
living,
to a
you
restaurant.
guys, right there.
Yeah,
That's
it's good
a bunch
stuff.
of good living, right
But
there.
once you've had your fill, once you've done all 8 circs, and they're not all the same, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've done your gambling and you've had enough, once you've eaten your fill, it's kind of fun to get a little bit beyond. Now, if you come to Vegas every 5 years, go to another circ show. Go see Penn and Teller. I don't know. Go see, Jubilee. I don't know. But what I want to tell you is some of the things to do that I really like doing, that I discovered as being a resident here, that's kind of off the beaten path. And the first one is under the entertainment heading. And this was something that I did last Monday. I've talked about it before. There's a crazy gal here named, what's her name? Oh, yeah, Kelly Clinton. And Kelly hosts this great thing called it's at Bootlegger Bistro, and it's called, and actually I can show you that page right here. This is where they are.
Let's see it. Bootlegger Bistro?
Yeah. This is the Bootlegger Bistro here. It's down on south on the Strip. It's about 5 miles or 5 minutes or so south of Mandalay Bay. It's an Italian restaurant, but they are really big in live music, which is, I'm a live music guy. I used to be a musician. It's kind of cool. And on Mondays, this is the day you really should go. On Mondays, they have this thing called an open mic. Now, the history of this is fascinating. When I first moved here, back in 2005, I was constantly being told of this thing called the Celebrity Karaoke Show, also at Bootlegger Bistro. And it was hosted by Kelly Clinton, who was the host of Talk Tales, by the way, on our network. And I just heard great things about it. All the different celebrities from around Vegas would go down there and sing, and it'd be great. Right. So they changed it from a karaoke to a live band behind them, smoking live band. And so now what happens is a variety of people that you've known, people who are doing shows on the Strip, and people who you may never known, come up and sing. I was there Monday. Monday was Kelly's birthday. So it was a nice turnout. And this is what we saw as an example of kind of the things that you see at the Bootlegger Bistro open mic. So what's really hot about this is So stop. So the person who's getting hugged right there is Antonio Vargas. Do you know who that is?
Of course.
That's Huggy Bear.
It's Huggy.
Huggy Bear. Yeah. So Huggy Bear is a friend of Clint Holmes, which is the cat who's kind of leaning in right there a little bit. Let me get
Play poker with that guy.
With Clint or Huggy Bear?
Huggy.
Yeah. Oh,
he's
that's
fairly
fun.
Decent.
Yeah. Oh, poker player?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
My sister did a play with him about 6 months ago.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he produced a play here in town.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then watch this.
Main man right here. That's the great Bubba Knight. The original Pip.
Right there, Bubba Knight, the head pip.
Wow.
These are the kind of cats that are just showing up to this place. And it happens all the time. So if you're looking for the quintessential Vegas hang, this is it, man. This is it. Again, here it is. Bootlegger Bistro.
Wow.
Down. And by the way, it's got good Italian food.
You know what? I think I've heard of that place. I would have to ask I really do. That is a great hangout. I was at a 4th of July, I was having 4th of July dinner with some friends.
Right.
And one of the ladies and the guys, that was the place they were talking about that people go and hang out.
It's cool.
That are in the industry. Everybody hangs out there.
Yeah, Jackie is on the live chat. She said
right.
Bubba Knight is the world's nicest man. He is super nice. He did Talk Tales with us. He did our Christmas special with us. I spoke to him about 10 minutes on Monday. Just, he's
Nice
got some
guy,
things
huh?
working on. Just a sweet guy. Big heart, and the guy can sing. He's got chops, and he's funny too. So he's got the timing, he's got the chops. He's
Good.
and he's got some things going on. I said, so I'm really happy for him as well. So that's the first place. Go check out this. This is Monday nights only. It starts at 8:30, 8:39, goes to about 11:30, 12 or so. Go check it out. It's the real thing. Second, I've talked about this quite a few times as well. Frankie Moreno. Now, Frankie plays at the Stratosphere. This is Frankie here. Blink. It's a shame he's not a good-looking man.
That's not fair.
He's actually a very attractive young man. But here's the thing about Frankie. Frankie is doing what every musician in Las Vegas wants to do, and that is he's got this gig where the casino is covering him. In other words, the casino is
That's
basically
unheard of.
backing him. Yeah, well, for sure. And at the same time, hold on, where is that going here?
How does he get that deal?
Where is that? Oh, that's over there.
Who's he sleeping with over there?
Well, I'll tell you how he got it. He basically worked his ass off, is what it looks like to me. He has been playing around town for years and years and years. He used to gig at the Palms for a while.
Okay.
And what I like about him is, besides he's a good singer, he's a great piano player, guitar player, and he can write a hell of a song. The guy is a songwriter. And he puts on his show. It's every night at Stratosphere. And, well, not every night. I think it's Wednesday through Saturday. It might be Tuesday through Saturday. But God, the energy is there. He's fun. He interacts. He does the self-effacing thing.
Right.
He brings out his bottle of Crown and he's drinking shots with the band. Yeah. He's giving shots to the audience.
What?
But he's an amazing talent. It's a great room. So, the Stratosphere has put a lot of effort into upgrading their property. They've done a nice job there.
Reasonably priced?
Yeah, it is. It's $44.
That's not bad.
It's a little bit off. I think it's 25% off for locals.
Okay.
But
That's the best seat?
There is a VIP seat. I think it's $10 more, I think. And then after the end of the show, he goes out there and he'll take pictures with you, shake your hands, kiss the babies, all that kind of stuff. Right. This is the kind of show that everybody in Las Vegas wants. Everybody wants this show where the casino pays for him. He's got that show, and they're backing him huge. If they haven't spent $1 million and maybe $2 million by now on advertising and promotion and stuff, I'd be shocked.
You've been working with this guy.
I did.
The same guy you're telling me about before.
We did a show on the network with him. We did a live show from his. We did a show from his dressing room. Yeah,
exactly.
It was outstanding.
I get privy to some things here, you guys, that nobody else does. If I butt in on some Scott stuff here, I'm just reminiscing with him here as we go.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
But he's a good guy, and he's nice, and it's just good to see a guy do well. So go see Frankie. This is one of the places where if somebody comes in as a guest at the Whitney Villa and they're asking for something that they don't know about, that's one of my go-to places. Hell, we'll take you to Frankie. You'll have a good time. I'll have a drink. You'll just love these guys. All right. The third place under the entertainment idea is the Smith Center. Smith Center is the new cultural spot, if you will, for Las Vegas. It's been around for a couple years now, I guess. And I'm telling you to go there for two reasons. There's two properties there that are really nice. There's Reynolds Hall, and that's where, for example, War Horse, which I'm afraid to go watch this because I know I'm going to cry.
Oh God.
I hear it's supposed to be just amazing. But so Reynolds Hall is their main big Broadway show place. We saw the very first show they had there, Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. Right. It was awesome. We've seen all kinds of plays there. They tend to lean towards the heavy musical as opposed to straight plays.
Right.
I would prefer more straight plays as well, but nonetheless, they're all Broadway quality stuff. It's amazing. I saw Wizard of Oz a couple Fridays ago.
Right.
And it's reasonably priced. Warhorse, which is it's a monstrous show. It's gotten all kinds of amazing reviews. $26 to $149. $26. Now that's up in the the boondocks a bit, but you can go see a Broadway quality show for $26.
Right.
It's really nice. And then they also have the Cabaret Jazz Room, which is that you can see the icon below the Warhorse, and this is where Clint Holmes plays, and a bunch of other cats play there as well. Probably the best jazz room in Las Vegas. Amazing acoustics, not a bad seat in the house. Pricing there, you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $35 to $60, depending on the artist. Like I was looking at Clint's show for November. Half the seats are already sold out, and we're not even. I mean, we're in September, I think, right? So it's turned into a pretty cool place. It's a nice hang as well. All right, next. Under the heading of Happy Wife, Happy Life.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot.
Smart man.
Well, even a blind squirrel.
That's right.
Listen, here's the thing. Of all the things I like, the thing I like the least is shopping. I don't like it. Shopping makes me want to cry. But I will tell you that my wife is a ninja shopper. She's you don't even see her coming. She's there, and then she's also a long distance shopper. She can shop for 12. I've had women cry trying to cut my hair. I've seen people cry trying to keep up with shopping for 12 hours. She loves to shop.
Wow.
There's a lot of shopping opportunities here in Las Vegas, but the place to go is the shopping at the Forum Shops at Caesars. And here's why. First of all, it's the highest grossing mall in Las Vegas. In America. In all of America, highest grossing mall, which is pretty.
Because of the prices? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, yes. Here's a shot of those guys. Yeah, and here's why. You've got, Cartier and Dior and Armani and Versace and Coach, and these are all the different stores there. So hell yeah, you're gonna spend $1 or $80 hanging out at the Caesars shop. But that's not why I'm saying it's the greatest place to go. That's not what I'm here for you, man. I'm a man's man, really. No. They have animatronic statues. What? Come on. Every 15 or 20 minutes, Zeus starts moving and they have a fight, and it's awesome. Now, I come from a Disney background, so I dig that kind of stuff. It's cheesy, but I like it. Well, they got aquariums. That's pretty cool. They've got great restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants here in Las Vegas, Joe's Seafood Prime Rib and Stone Crab, is there. It's a great restaurant. They've got men are not allowed to wear jewelry with one exception. Watches. I am a watch horse. They've got the best watch store in the world at this place. So if you're a man and you want to look at watches, it's called, I always pronounce this wrong, Tourneau, Tourneau. It's a 2-story watch store.
Wow.
Holy crap. By the way, if somebody wants to buy me a Breitling, I'm ready. But here's the real reason. All that's fine. All that's fluff. Here's the icing on the cake. You can drink and shop at the Caesar Forum. They've got bars all over the place.
You won't get arrested for walking around with a drink?
You can grab yourself a drink, a martini, a frickin' frozen 3-foot daiquiri, and walk your ass off. I'm going to tell you, as a husband, I'm a hell of a lot more compliant when I got a little buzz on. That's right. And Melissa's like, do you mind if I go in and see the Jewy Chewy shoes or whatever, Johnny Chew's shoes? Yeah, fuck, go ahead. I'm knocking back a crown of diet. You could spend all day in there. So it's a secret, men. Say, hey, honey, would you like to go shopping? What? Oh, I love you. Well,
Do you buy anything, or you just?
Do I?
Yeah.
Fuck no, I don't buy anything.
Oh
there.
shit!
I don't.
That's no fun.
Well, yeah. Did you hear me? Cartier, Dior, Armani, Versace.
So you're window shopping.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. First of all, it's not all like that. There's other things as well. I may someday buy a watch there. I am lusting over a Breitling watch.
Well, you gotta get that. You deserve that.
Deserving it and affording it are very.
When we tack on
things.
something at the bottom there that we can add to the bottom of that screen where they can start sending
it. Right. Help this Scott Watch fund. Scott
want
needs a
this
new watch.
watch.
Yeah, my
We'd
guess is
like to
that's
have
not going to
this
work.
watch. Yeah.
All right, so that's your happy wife, happy life. Next, vintage Vegas. Let's talk a little vintage Vegas here. All right, two things that I really, really right. Yeah, they're going to crowdsource a watch for me. Oh, these people are awesome. And they like Chewy Chewy. All right,
Hey,
it's
you
Jimmy
probably
Choo.
could
I
get
didn't
one
know.
on, what's that place everybody goes to buy shit online?
Amazon?
There you go, or eBay, or one of them joints. You could probably somebody put it up, post it. Somebody post it for him. I bet he gets one.
I do, yeah. Well, I don't think they have the watch I want. It's really pretty. Yeah. All right. Vintage Vegas, two things. First of all, we talked about this place before, and it's a little off the beaten path. It's the Mob Museum in downtown.
That's hot, you guys. Go there.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
It is outstanding.
The nostalgia there is incredible.
Yeah, listen. Everybody knows that the mob was a huge influence in Las Vegas, and we get it. And by the way, all the entertainers here think that they should still be running the joint. They're wrong. Because if they were running the joint and they sucked, they would be dead. But here's what's really cool about...
You'd be on the pig farm.
Yeah, in North Las Vegas, where you'd be gruel.
Exactly.
So here's what's interesting about the Mob Museum. First of all, when I heard about this, the kids were in town. I'm like, yeah, all right, we'll go to the Mob Museum, whatever. And so we went, and
you had a great time.
It was awesome. It's 3 stories, and if you look at the building, the building here, let me go back to that shot. The building of this mall, or this thing, you can see where it says the building down there. It's pretty nondescript. It used to be a courthouse, actually. And they have a little story that goes along with that particular courthouse. But it's 3 stories. It starts off with, how the mob work, and the middle story was how it influenced Las Vegas and kind of where it is now. And it's fascinating. And I'm thinking, well, we'll get in and out in an hour. Bullshit. Yeah. We were there for 3.5 hours, and it was easy to spend that time. And Neil and Sarah were there 3 hours or so. It is an outstanding play for a day. And it's not, your typical kind of, I'm going to go to a casino and drink and gamble, but it's really interesting. And it's cheap. It's $20. $20 divided by 3 hours is what? 150? I don't know what it is, but it's a good deal. And you should go. And if you're in Las Vegas or a Nevada resident, it's only $10. So go to the Mob Museum. My second vintage Vegas place is one of my favorite places to take people as well. And
now, so what do you call them vintage?
Things that show a vintagey vibe, basically.
Not the fact that they've been here a long time.
Not necessarily. Obviously, the Mob Museum hasn't, but this next one, the next one has.
Okay.
When somebody says, "Hey, take me to the quintessential bar restaurant of Las Vegas," this is easy. Go to Peppermill.
Oh, okay.
That's good, Ron.
All right. Well, shit.
No,
that's where everybody goes.
I have never been.
Oh, you've never
at a strip club since I've been here.
You've never gotten off the airplane, and the cabbie says, "Where do you want to go?"
I don't need a tag.
They get $80 a head for that.
Yeah, 80. I thought it was 25.
It's $80
really?
a head.
No kidding. That's a nice.
So
spiff.
I've been told.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah. But no, Peppermill's great.
Peppermill is awesome.
Peppermill.
There's 2 parts of Peppermill.
Yeah.
So there's the restaurant, which is cleverly called Peppermill, and this is a diner. This is the diner with fake trees and branches and stuff.
You got to tell them how long they've been there.
I don't know, forever.
Been there at least 40, 50 years.
Yeah, and here's an example. They've got the sugar that looks like rainbows. That's their sugar, and the waitresses are still wearing nylons, that kind of stuff. And while you're getting ready for breakfast, somebody from the bar will go, "Can we get you a cocktail?" It's that kind of vibe. This is a perfect picture of it. Fake trees, neon lights all over the place.
That's a great nostalgia spot.
It is amazing.
100%.
And here's the thing. It's not just cool. It's good. And it's packed.
Yep.
You want to go to breakfast?
Yeah.
Get in line.
2, 3, 4 in the morning doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, but you go in for regular breakfast, you're going to wait. You want to go to lunch, you're going to wait.
You got to go there. You ever been there 1, 2 in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah, downstairs at the pit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second part. So the other part of that is probably the coolest bar ever, and that bar is called the Fireside Lounge.
Yeah.
It doesn't get cheesier than the Fireside Lounge. And I Love it.
cheesy,
Now this
right?
this is just down the street from the Vegas Video Network studios. This is on the corner of Convention Center Drive and Las Vegas Boulevard. So it's just a little south of the Riviera. But here's big neon-y kind of glow. But their big deal is this fire pit, this water fire pit. This is a good picture of it here. So it's a sunken pit, and you can see you've got the oops, there it is. Sorry. Sunken pit, you've got the little fire here in the middle of the water. It's just really fun. And same thing, waitresses and nylons and monitors everywhere.
Yeah, and they got the other bar right along when you first come in, right along the wall. There's a nice bar.
Yep, right up there, actually.
And then seating up a little higher.
Yep, there it is.
And then seating down a little lower.
Yeah.
You got. Look, that's a great place. I concur. If you're in Vegas, you want to do the Peppermill at least one night after you've been out hanging out.
It's good.
Yeah, the pancakes are big as manholes.
Yeah, they're huge. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. That's a great point.
Yeah.
You order a Cobb salad.
Yeah.
You could feed the family.
Yeah, you feed
it's
six.
they're like this. They're monstrous. Yeah. Which is awesome. It's the kind of thing that you just go.
You brought back a place to me. I don't know if you remember this place. It used to be called the Flame.
Where
I think I might have mentioned that too. It used to be pretty much right damn near behind the Peppermill, but they closed it down. It was one of the greatest steak joints in Vegas. I mean, anyway, it's not there. So Peppermill, go to the Peppermill. It's called the Flame. If you ever do go back, if they've moved this place or if they've tried to, this place was incredible.
That incredible sounds familiar.
It's called the
for
Flame.
Some reason.
Yeah, probably somebody out there that's listening or on there probably knows about the Flame. The
now,
Flame
we've got Bob Scott on. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Bob says no hats, and he says that because we went there for New Year's. We were actually somewhere else for New Year's, and we headed over to New Year's. And a buddy of mine, Dave Abbey, was wearing a top hat.
And he made him take it off.
He told him to take him off. I mean, it's a top hat. I mean, I get the whole colors thing and all that nonsense. He wasn't wearing it backwards. It wasn't he was wearing a top hat, and he said, you got to take off the hat. And we're like, are you out of your mind? It's New Year's. No, so you got to take off the top hat. So we left. We're like, that's
this is Peppermill?
Yeah. Yeah, in the bar. At the fireside. The lounge. We're like, no, we got to go. That's not going to play out.
Yeah.
And then
this was after midnight?
Yeah. It was after midnight. All right. So now, for my friend Neil, here in my car, I feel safe in me. Now we're going to get in a car. Everything we've done so far, you could take a taxi, you could walk, you could do that. But now we're going to go for a little drive. We're going to head out there. And the first place we're going to go, which may shock many people, is we're going to head off to the Red Rock Canyon area.
I knew it.
Now, the reason why that may shock people is because I believe if God wanted us to hike or walk, he wouldn't have invented cars. I'm not a big hiker. I believe in walking. I believe in using fossil fuel. I like motorcycles. I like cars. I like all those things, and I will never hike if I don't have to. But if I were going to hike, I'd hike here at Red Rock, and I actually did hike at Red Rock once. It is frickin' gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And they've got a nice visitor center, but I think the big draw is they've got this really cool hiking path. It's it's a scenic path. It's a 13-mile drive, which is what this map here is. And as you can see here, if you look right over here where the visitor center is, and this street right here, so that street, if you keep going, that's Charleston. And over here would be 215, and over here would be the Red Rock Casino. So you
just
check
keep
in
going west, right?
Pardon me?
Just keep going west over there, right?
Yeah, to get back to Charleston or 215. Right. So at the visitor center, to get into this area, it's $7 per car.
Right.
So you pay your $7. I would recommend you go to the visitor center first because they've got some neat stuff. They've got turtles and lizards and spiders and things that you can look at, and some of the history of how did these rocks get made? What made them red? It's iron, by the way. And then you head off on this one-way drive, this 13-mile scenic drive. Which it's just outstanding. And what's really nice is look, I can go picnicking here.
Yeah,
I can do a little picnic here.
Places,
There's bathrooms over there. I can do picnic, bathrooms. And all those little dotted lines you see there, those are all hiking paths. Remember that one of the first times we got here, we stopped at this little stop here, or it might have been this stop here. And there are people climbing it looked like they were climbing mountains. And like, what's going on here? It was awesome. So if you like the outdoors, and for some reason, I haven't quite figured this out yet, we have a lot of friends who are outdoorsy.
Outdoor people.
So if they ask, hey, where do I go for a hike? I'm like, want to go to the backyard and go swimming? No? Crap. All right.
I actually went to the snow a couple times this past year. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, another place could be on this list could easily be Mount Charleston.
Yeah, that was awesome.
In the winter. The Mount Charleston Lodge is a really fun place.
Oh, it was really beautiful.
I have yet to go to the Las Vegas ski and snowboard resort. But that sounds like fun. The idea that you could be an hour away from skiing.
That's a little closer, though.
It's pretty cool. But the Red Rock thing, it is real closer. It's like, I think they say on the website, it's 7-8 miles
You'll love
or
it
minutes.
up there, man. It's great up there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They do a nice thing. Okay, second, we've talked about this a couple times, and we have failed to be successful at it last couple times. But get yourself out to Lake Mead and get yourself a boat, because it is nothing but fun. Some of the best memories we've had here in Las Vegas is renting a boat. Yeah, now there's a special boat that I like, and it actually is called a pontoon boat, but it's a little deceptive. That
not
name
the flat
is
one with the almost like a tent over the top of it.
Well, they actually call it a deck cruiser. This is the one here, 26-foot deck cruiser.
Yeah.
So you can see you've got the little diving platform here. You've got cover here, but the boat will go. It'll do probably 35 knots. So if you want to, boat, if you want to get going, you can do it with these guys. But if you just want to sit around eating cheese and crackers and drinking wine and listen to music, you can get underneath the cover and do that. The other thing is, we've talked about Calville Bay, which is this website, but there are other places that you can rent boats. There's the Lake Mead Marina, for example. They have the same boats there. And one of the neat things to do is, you get out there and it's real safe, and pretty much anybody can ride a boat. And by the way, they have the same drinking driving laws on the water than they do on the street. If you drink and drive, ask what's that? The gal who did the movie. Oh shit, what was her name?
Well, I don't know.
Damn it. The gal who helped. She's a non-lawyer, Erin Brockovich. She got arrested for drunk driving on a boat.
Right.
So they'll ping you if you're drunk driving on a boat. But it's beautiful. It's the largest man-made reservoir in America. It's impressive. And there really is nothing like taking a dip underneath Hoover Dam. You can swim underneath, or Boulder Dam, or whatever the hell the damn thing's called. Now, you're not right underneath it. You're about 200, 300 yards away. Dam. But you're there. Yeah. It's so cool.
Did you dip?
Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing.
You have on trunks?
Yeah, I did. We had people with us. I don't want to scare the kids. The other thing, do I have it here? The pool temperature, the water temperature there is amazing in the right months. And here's a chart here of it. Let me bring that up. Boink. You can see we usually try to go in August when the water temperature is 80 degrees or 84 degrees, which is the Whitneyville required water temperature. It's perfect. Right. Last time we successfully actually got a boat, because it wasn't storming, was in September a couple years ago, and it's 78. You know what? I'll tolerate 78 degrees. So in July, it's 80. So the water temperature during the summer is perfect. What more do you want, It's just great. So go there, have a great time, and don't forget that your buddy Scott told you to do it. All right, our final drive thing to do, and this is a little way off the beaten path. One of our favorite discoveries, and it's the Pahrump Winery, Pahrump Valley Winery. And here's what's interesting about this. When we first came about this, we first moved here and we were doing the show, we thought we'd go down there and we thought it'd be a joke. Right? Yeah, we're going to the Pahrump Winery. By the way, we might stop at a brothel and get us a couple hookers and talk about that. But here's what ended up happening. We went to this charming little winery.
Went to the winery first and then stopped.
Yeah. For some reason, Melissa is really against brothels. I think she's overreacting, quite frankly. Yeah. But
I'll have a talk with her.
Well, yeah. Thank you. So we go to this little winery, and holy camoles, it's the cutest damn thing you ever want to see. And cute is one thing, but it's a winery, so you'd like the wine to be good. So the wine is, boink, pretty damn good. They have a little wine tasting room like all good wineries do. Look at that. It's snowing there in that picture, and they're starting to grow their own grapes now, which before they were importing their
that's
grapes.
Kind of shady. It's kind of winery is that? They're not growing grapes.
Well, so a lot of wineries do this. They imported their grapes from California, from either Alexander or Napa Valley to begin with. The last time we were there, which is several years ago, we went there with some friends of ours. They started using their own grapes. The grapes weren't quite ready at the point. The wine wasn't quite ready.
How you grow grapes in the desert?
They talk about that on the website. Yeah. Actually, it's possible. Now, I don't know how to do it. The weather between Napa
Those are called
and here.
Raisins, aren't they?
I'll have some raisin wine, please.
Some of that masked raisin.
Give you some of that masked raisin wine. I love my raisin wine. But it's a great little place. Super nice people. And they have a nice restaurant there as well. A place called Symphonies. It's kind of a classy white tablecloth, but it's a casual vibe. Good food. But one of my favorite things about just the winery itself is that the grounds. Mm-hmm. So they have little picnic tables all over the place and lots of grass so
they have food.
Yeah, the restaurant, and they also have, I think, snacks at the wine and cheese within the tasting area as well. And that's what we did. I think we might have brought up cheese and crackers. I forget, but we just got a bottle of wine, went to one of their little pergola things, and just ate and drank and was merry and had a great time. Yeah. They're having a grape stomp coming up in October, so if you want to stomp some grapes,
there you go.
You can go out there and do that as well. Okay. That's it. What did I miss? Anything?
Yeah, I got one. I got to plug this guy. I got a buddy here in town.
All right.
And he's got a great, I don't know how many people like fried fish. There used to be one place I could get like some fried catfish or some fried fish here in town.
Okay.
That was pretty good over at this market over on MLK.
All right.
But they closed down. And the other place is pretty much an area that I don't really like to frequent too much.
Yeah.
But this place is called Fish Delish. It's on Rainbow.
Okay.
This guy used to have a couple stores in California.
All right.
And he migrated here, and he's got a really great place, Fish Delish, on Rainbow.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
There it is. All right.
Fried fish.
Well, let me be the first to say thank you for sitting in to Ron. Big hand for Ronnie. There he is.
All right. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you letting me come in, Scott, and have a good time with you.
If I want to get the best haircut in the world, who do I call?
Ron.
And do you want to give out a number?
Sure.
What's your number?
702-372-5878.
And Fish Delish is at the Rainbow Curve.
That's it.
We've just learned from the live chat.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's it for us.
Tell them Ron Graves sent
I think we've got time. How far are we into this show? We're an hour 17.
Hour and 17.
How's your time?
Oh, man, my time is my time. That's the beauty of what I do, is my time is my time. Always has been.
I think maybe we can either stop or I can do listener email.
Well, go ahead. We're here.
Let's do. I think maybe we'll do listener email. It's been a while.
Let's do it.
Let me see here. I'll put that over there. I'll put that there. And then I will do this. Yeah, Axl Rose done got shit on me.
That's right, baby.
All right, here we go. Listener email. Send your questions to onairq@livinginlv.com. That's onairq. Do I have that? I do. At livinginlv.com. onairq@livinginlv.com. All right. Here's our question. This actually came to me from Quora, which is a website that I've answered some questions on. And Ron asked, why is Texas Hold'em on the decline in Las Vegas? Here's what he says. Nearly every casino used to have a game going and great tournament attendance. Lately, only the big casinos have real action, while the smaller and softer rooms have either shut down or can barely scrape enough players for a single table. Now, the last time I played Texas Hold'em was at Lake Mead because we couldn't get a boat, and I won 20 pebbles. So I don't, I don't know a lot about
Flintstone shit. There.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Texas Hold'em, but I did a little research, and one of the answers was pretty good actually. And he basically said, it's just first of all, he said, there's the number of games are still there. And he listed a website that at allvegaspoker.com that had all the different tournaments for Texas Hold'em. There are hundreds. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of tournaments. Yeah. But what he said was pretty interesting. He goes, let's see, with table games like blackjack and baccarat, craps, or slots, it's the gambler playing against the house.
Absolutely.
They make all their money, mostly. Whereas with Hold'em, they're playing against each other. So from a casino perspective, it's a smaller take. And they limit the number of tables, which attributes to, limited tables instead of no limit.
Right.
Also changes the amount of money they can make. But they do limit tables to attract more players, to get more people to try to play.
Absolutely. What he's saying, limit, meaning structured poker.
Yeah, in other words, for the blind and the small blind, $2, $1,
Exactly.
and you can only raise the amount.
Those increments.
Yeah.
Exactly. $2 and $4. That's limit.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And he also mentioned this response that Hold'em is resource heavy. In other words, you have a dedicated room to that typically. You have to have the dealers and the table and the pit bosses. So it's for the money that they make versus the revenue that they get from it, versus the effort that they have to spend for it. It's not a big payoff. But you play.
That is correct.
Where do you play?
I play everywhere.
Really?
I play on the Strip. I play off the Strip. I play a lot of the local casinos. What's happened in most casinos...
Well, have you seen rooms?
Yes, I've seen a decline. Yes. Oh, yeah, all of them are declining. A lot of it is declining just because there's not the indiscretionary cash like it used to be.
Right.
People aren't playing because they just don't have the money to play anymore. First of all, as a poker player, you got to understand that those smaller games, those limit games, you will never, ever, ever win. Not ever. You might win today, but they're not designed for you to win. They're designed for the casino to win. So the only way that you can beat a real poker game is you have to play limits that are larger than 3-6. If you're playing 2-4 Hold'em, you can't win. You have to win 2 out of 3 hands. There's such a science to the size of game that you play that it makes it almost impossible for you to beat these games if the limit is too low. First of all, you have to be lucky. You have to know some mathematics. It's always good to know when to raise, when not to raise.
Right.
And then, you have to have the capital to play. It's super important.
Let me ask you this. We got a question from the live chat from Ted. Do good local players go to the Strip and clean up on tourists?
Absolutely.
And
certain days of the week.
Oh, really? What are the days?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. And my buddy was telling me, because he tends to play on tables with a lot of good players, and you can always tell the fish who shows up, and he says something, and I forget what he told me that is the indication that this guy is in trouble. And you can kind of look around with the table of players, and they're like, oh.
Well, let me give you a couple scenarios that you always look for when you're playing poker, even a novice. If you're playing poker and you've never played before, if you play with a guy that will chase a straight or a flush. Do you understand what I mean by chasing a straight or a flush?
It means they have...
they have a partial hand, maybe 2 or 3 cards to a flush or a straight.
Right.
Okay? And the cards in their hand could either be minimally high or, somewhere in the middle.
Right.
You're playing against people that either have to get lucky to beat you or they're never going to win, ever.
Right.
Because... as a player, you don't chase. If you're going to play every day, if you're playing to make money at this, like a lot of the people do here in this town, you don't play hands that first of all, people are going to beat you in.
All right.
You just throw that away and you wait. So it's like playing against sharks.
Yeah.
People show up, I automatically know if a guy's going to chase a straight or a flush, then he can't win. He can't make money because if there's an old saying, if you chase straights and flushes, you leave Las Vegas on trains and buses. Because you can't win.
That's good.
You can't win.
Right.
So there's certain scenarios, and that's one of the things I look for in a player. If a player calls with a bottom pair, meaning that the lowest pair on the board, and he's willing to try to outdraw you to catch another pair. So you have people that show up at these games all the time. Certain lines that people say. Well, I know you got me beat, but I want to see anyway.
You like that?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I look for things that people are going to do that are completely out of the norm of a poker player.
What kind of
Most
game?
poker players won't talk to you if they know how to play.
Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of game do you prefer? Do you prefer a game where a cat walks in, you're like, oh,
I prefer two loose goose in every game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how many people sit at a table typically? 10 or 12? 10? Yeah. So you would like to have two of those people?
Two of those guys be loose because that makes for a good game. Yeah. But I've also played in a game where everybody's a rock, where nobody's moving, where if the pot. I play with a guy, let me tell you, it's a guy down, sits at, the guy plays at the Golden, not the Nugget, the
Gold Spike?
Binions.
Oh,
plays at Binions. He buys in $10,000.
Ooh, there you go.
And he never plays a hand.
Really?
If you bet $5, he folds.
Really?
Every single day.
What's that all about?
Well, it's either for his look, and you know the guy's just waiting for one particular hand.
Oh, he's looking for double aces.
He's looking for aces. He's looking for them. So you don't give this guy any action. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look for certain people. Scott, I can't get no action here. If I play at a local place where people know me, I don't get any action.
So I'm guessing if that guy comes in and says, I'm betting big, you're like, that guy's got pocket aces.
I'm not giving you any action.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you understand the game, here's what I tell people. The poker game is really long.
Right.
It's not over until you play your last hand.
Right.
That doesn't mean today, tomorrow, next week, whenever. So you don't have to lose everything today in order for the game to be over.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll never get even if you stop rebuying today.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Well, that's it, baby.
Yeah, that's a little wild.
That's it. That's I bet you didn't know we were going to give you some poker.
Yeah.
Of course, it would have been better if I'd.
So tell me a little bit about your poker strategy there, big boy. That's it.
All right.
And of course, I didn't give you my strategy. I just gave you a little bullshit.
No. Great. That's it. That's what
Catch
I want.
me out there. And
I'm going to come out. Hey, Ronnie, can I come out and play some poker with you, pal? Yeah. Hey, Ronnie, I like to go play some poker. Can you? Yeah, Scott. Yeah. I mean, that's not right.
I just won a little tournament.
Yeah, Scott, come on out with me. I'll take you to a poker game. Don't you worry about anything. I'll take good care of you. I'll cut your hair and I'll cut your wallet. Okay.
Thanks, man, for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
You're outstanding, brother. It was great having you. You're welcome anytime. All right, that's it for the big show, everybody.
So
I want to thank you guys for playing along with us. We do appreciate your support. If you want to reach out to us, we've said this before, check out OnAirQ at livinginlv.com. Again, OnAirQ at livinginlv.com. And if you're on the internet, if you're on that computer, check out us at Twitter at Vegas Video NTWRK. If you're on the Facebook, we're at Facebook at VegasVideoNetwork.com. We're on iTunes. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, and say nice things about us. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube, either live or on demand. Thanks everybody in the live chat. Everybody was lovely. Nice active live chat. You guys are the bestest of the bestest. God bless you all. And I can't find my mouse. Stand by. Get your ass over there. All right. Hey, that's the button I wanted. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Back.